Did you know you can use your VA loan to buy a fixer-upper, roll in the renovation costs all within one loan at zero down? Most people have no idea this even exists, and I think it's going to be one of the most valuable options available to veterans looking to buy a home in today's market. In today's market, move-in ready homes have become more and more expensive, competitive, and unfortunately out of reach for first-time homebuyers. With a loan like this, sometimes the ugliest house on the street could be the best option for you. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how VA renovation loans work, what it covers, and how you can use it to buy or even refinance a home that you already own. And I'll also be answering the most common questions that I get from veterans every week about this particular loan. Now, before I dive into the video, if you didn't know, you can actually book a call with me directly where I will be able to walk you through whatever questions that you may be having about the VA loan, whether it's renovation loans or a different type of loan that is around the VA home loan benefit. So if you want to book a call with me, click the link down below in the description and feel free to choose any day and time that works best for you. All right, Chapter 1. What is a VA renovation loan? A renovation loan is a special version of the VA loan that includes renovation funds. Traditionally, when you are getting a VA loan, you're typically only going to be able to have your loan be for up to the purchase price or appraised value of that home. This allows you to not only finance the purchase price, but it also allows you to finance the renovation costs. And it's all done within one loan, so there is no need for a second mortgage. And this can be available for purchases and refinances. Whether you're buying a home that's new to you or it's one that you already own, you can use this loan to upgrade and modernize your property using VA financing. As for the renovations, this happens after closing, which means the property must already be built and completed, and the work must begin after the loan funds and closes. This is not a construction loan. This is completely different. Chapter 2 is going to be who this loan is for. Well, first, it's going to be for somebody who plans to live in the property. This loan is for primary residences only, no investment properties, flips, or second homes. Next, you must be eligible for the VA loan, which means you need to be a veteran, active duty service member, reservist, guard member, or a surviving spouse. When it comes to credit score tiers, this could actually affect how much you could even qualify for. Even though this loan option allows you to do it at 100% financing, most of the lenders that I have worked with that allow VA renovation loans are going to have a certain overlay on top of this loan that will require you to be able to meet in order to do 100% financing. For example, if you're going to be doing 100% financing on a single family or duplex, you're going to need to have at least a 600 credit score. If you're trying to buy a triplex or a quadplex, which is anything between 3 to 4 units, then you're going to need at least a 680 credit score. And if you're looking at borrowing an amount of over $1 million, then you are going to need at least a 700 credit score. There are situations where we could go below 600 on single family, but in this situation is when a down payment is going to be required. And from the loan partners that I work with, they are all requiring at least a 10% down payment if you have a 580 credit score. But remember, you're only 20 points away from the 600 mark. So if you're able to get to that amount, that opens up a whole other set of options, allowing you to now be able to use 100% financing by just getting to the 600 mark. Chapter 3, debt to income ratios. One of the most misunderstood parts of the VA loan is how debt to income works. And with renovation loans, it matters even more. If your file is AUS approved, which stands for Automated Underwriting System, then you actually will not have a debt to income limit, which means if you have a debt to income of as high as 65 to even 70%, which is pretty high, you could actually get a VA loan of a debt to income ratio of that much with the renovation loan product. But if you aren't able to get an automated approval, this is where you're going to run into some issues. The other option of not getting an automated approval is going to be a manual approval, which is going to be where we're now submitting your file to a physical underwriter versus just trusting what the automated system says in order to overturn what that automated system gave their decision to. So in this situation, this is what's called a manual underwrite. When it comes to manual underwrites on a VA renovation loan, the maximum debt to income ratio that is going to be allowed from the lending partners that I have seen is going to be 45%. So remember, the debt to income ratio that you are going to need is only based on whether you get an automated approval or you are going to need a manual approval. Our first chapter in regards to VA renovation loans is going to be eligible property types. You can use a VA renovation loan for a single family, duplex, triplex, or even a quadplex. The one rule you'll need to follow is simply occupying that property as your primary residence. This is easily done on a single family home, but if you're living in a multi-unit property, which is anything between 2 to 4 units, you just need to be able to occupy at least one one of those units, and then you can go ahead and rent out the remaining units. You can also use the VA renovation loan on a VA approved condominium. The one added rule to this is if you are doing a condominium, the project must be on the VA approved condo list, which is a website that pretty much anyone can access. If you're looking for help on whether or not the project you're looking at buying is on the condo list, reach out to me. I can help you check that list out. You can also use a VA renovation loan for manufactured homes, which means it could be done on a single, double, or even a triple wide unit. The one added rule for these types of properties is simply the repairs cannot alter structural elements that were built to HUD code. Now, some properties that are going to be completely ineligible are first going to be homes that were never completed and have no certificate of occupancy. The next is going to be demolished or razed homes. And then it would also be for mobile homes that are not HUD manufactured. This is completely different from a manufactured home. And then the last one is going to be mixed use buildings or co-ops. That's not going to be allowed either. Our fifth chapter is going to be what renovations are allowed. The first one is going to be health and safety repairs, mold remediation, lead-based paint removal, smoke detectors. These are going to be things that are going to be easily done and allowed within a renovation loan. The next is going to be major system repairs or replacements like roofs, HVAC systems, electrical, plumbing. These are the types of repairs that improve home habitability and function. You can also do modernization updates like kitchen remodels, bathroom upgrades, flooring replacements. Even if it's not broken, you can modernize outdated features. You can also use it for appliances. You can finance a new fridge, cooktop, built-in microwave, dishwasher, washer and dryer, all part of the project. And if you need to do ADA and accessibility upgrades, this can be done also, which means if you need to widen the doors, add ramps, or even add in walk-in tubs, these can all be done and allowed within the renovation loan. If you want to do some exterior features as well, this can be done. You can change the patio, porches, fencing, driveways, as long as they aren't considered landscaping. You can also do pool repairs, but not installations, which means you can use this to fix a damaged in-ground pool. You just cannot use it to build a new one. For chapter 6 in this video, what renovations are not allowed? First is going to be structural modifications. No removal of load-bearing walls, expanding square footage, or altering the foundation. You also cannot do any luxury or recreational upgrades, which means no hot tubs, tennis courts, bathhouses, or outdoor kitchens. You also cannot change the landscaping, which means planting trees or laying sod is not going to be allowed. DIY projects are also not going to be doable. All work must be completed by a licensed contractor that is independent from the transaction itself. Projects that require architectural or engineering plans are also not going to be allowed. This is just simply too complex, too risky, and not eligible under this program. Another thing that won't be allowed is if the job takes more than 6 months or requires vacancy past the 15-day mark of when the loan closes. You see, you must be able to occupy the property during the renovation period. The 7th chapter of this video is going to be appraisal and VA requirements. When the appraisal is ordered, it must reflect the after improved value, which means the appraiser will assess what the home is worth once renovations are completed. In order to get to that point, the contractor bid must be submitted with the appraisal. This should include line item pricing and details on labor, material, and timeline. Appraisals can also not be ordered until the contractor has a valid VA ID number, and this can often cause delays. So what I advise people to do here is make sure that the contractor is VA registered before you start the loan process. The next thing that happens is going to be a final inspection, which will be required. Once renovations are complete, a VA appraiser will return to certify that all work was completed per the bid. Our 8th chapter is going to be refinance options, otherwise known as renovating the home that you already own. You do not have to move in order to benefit from this loan. If your home needs work and you have VA entitlement, you can refinance and renovate at the same time. Similar to the purchase options, this home must be your primary residence and is only going to be doable if you're refinancing from an existing VA loan, conventional loan, or FHA loan. Truthfully, it doesn't really matter what your current loan type is, as long as you're eligible for the VA loan. When doing a refinance, what will happen is your current loan payoff plus your renovation budget and closing costs and prepaids are all rolled into one loan. Now, why this loan option matters is because maybe your HVAC is failing or your kitchen is stuck in the 90s and you just want to give everything a little bit of a refresh. Sure, you could use your own liquid assets to do this, but paying $30,000, $40,000, or even $50,000 out of pocket up front is not always going to be realistic. This loan gives you the ability to upgrade without draining your savings or using your credit cards. Our 9th chapter in this video is going to be about why this loan matters in 2025. You see, inventory is tight, especially if you're looking at under $400,000, which is roughly where the median home price is. And as a first-time home buyer, you're probably not looking to spend a ton of money on your first house. So if you're looking at under the $400,000 mark, many homes need work and few buyers are willing to do it, which now means you as a veteran can compete with other offers from loan types and have value from this strategy. And if it's renovating a home that you already own, this can oftentimes be more cost effective than moving to a whole new home altogether. This loan allows people to not need cash in order to do it. It simply just requires you to have a plan and a qualified contractor. The 10th chapter in this video is going to be the most common questions about the VA renovation loan. The first one is going to be, can I use the VA renovation loan on a foreclosure or a short sale? Yes, as long as the home is safe, sanitary, structurally sound, and has completed construction, which means it needs to have a certificate of occupancy. If repairs are needed, they simply just need to fall within the eligible list of renovations that I mentioned earlier. The second question is, can I live in the home during renovations? The answer is yes, only if work doesn't make it unlivable for more than 15 days. If the scope of work requires you to vacate the home for longer, the loan becomes ineligible. Most projects are designed to be done in phases, or while you're still occupying the home. The third question is going to be, do I need a contractor with a special VA approval? Yes, your contractor must have a valid VA contractor ID. If they don't have one yet, they'll simply need to apply before the appraisal is ordered. The fourth most common question is, can I add square footage like a garage or a new bedroom? The answer to that is unfortunately going to be no. Additions and structural changes are not allowed. That includes adding a garage, second story, or expanding the footprint of the home. You can only improve what's already there. The fifth question is going to be, can I do the work myself? No, this would be considered self-help, or also known as owner-builder, and this is not allowed. All work must be completed by a licensed contractor who is registered with the VA. Even if you're skilled or licensed yourself, the VA still won't allow you to do the work. And our sixth question is, how long does it take to close? Typically about 30 to 45 days, depending on how fast you get your contractor bid submitted, the VA ID approved, and the appraisal ordered. Most delays come from not having a full scope of work up front. Our seventh question, is this better than just paying out of pocket for the repairs? In many cases, I would say yes, especially for buyers or owners who want to preserve their savings or don't have much of it. Rather than taking on high interest credit cards or personal loans, finance improvements at mortgage rates versus credit rate. Our eighth question, can I use it on a duplex, triplex, or a quadplex? Yes, as long as you live in one of the units. When it comes to credit scores though, this will vary depending on how many units you are buying. If you're buying between 1 to 2 units, then you simply need a credit score of at least 600. If you're looking to buy between 3 to 4 units, you need at least a 680 or above. My final thoughts, who is this best for? This is best fit for veteran buyers targeting homes that just need a little bit of TLC. This is also for veterans that are already in a home who want to refinance and renovate. And it's also for anyone who is feeling priced out of perfect homes and open to building equity and creating value. Who this is not for is going to be somebody that is a house flipper or a real estate investor. It's also not going to be for full construction projects or additions. And it's also not going to be for anyone needing luxury upgrades or DIY plans. If this is a loan option that you think is right for you, reach out to me. I'm happy to help guide you through the process and hopefully help you achieve your own homeownership goals. The last thing that I want to leave you with is always the most important thing, and that is Jesus loves you and he paid the ultimate price for your life. So if you turn to him, trust in him, and believe in him, he has a beautiful plan and purpose for you. I'll see you in the next one.